Hello. Good afternoon. How is everybody? Just so you know, we might have a visitor uh, in between because she woke up a little early. So my daughter um, might need to be consoled every so often. If you hear a little voice, that's her. Um, you want to sit here? How are you guys doing? Say hi, Deb. Hi. So, what are you drinking? I am drinking Earl Grey at the moment. You want to go watch your show? There you go. Just watching Sheriff Callie, one of her favorites. It's on That's TV. But yeah, so I have this really pretty mug today. Has a bunch of roses on it. And if you are watching, make sure you say hi, you say something, because I won't know if you don't say something in like the comments so that I can see that you're with me. I can say hi. What are you grateful for today? Um, right now, I'm just grateful for my continued health. Um, we had a bit of a scare yesterday when my wife went back to one of her shifts after a couple of days off. Um, Found out that one of the patients she was um, taking care of had COVID and died from it. And she wasn't wearing the correct protective gear. So she's been exposed, and she then in turn exposed us a little bit. So trying to make sure that we're grateful for what we have and not letting the fear of the unknown, the fear of something that hasn't happened yet get into our heads. It's a lot easier said than done. Um, I feel like I needed to look into something a little bit deeper today to kind of even just to talk to you guys about to get my head out of it. Um, and so I kind of thought that a good thing to talk about today would be the law of attraction because I need to use it right now. I think a lot of us in um, that are in more stressful situations right now, everybody is having more anxiety than they've probably ever had. um, be it that they feel claustrophobic, feel that they're scared of being sick, of their family members getting sick, being in close quarters with their families. And, stuff always happens where you get a little bit more stressed out. Um, so, thinking of a way that you can help yourself by controlling your own thoughts is where I kind of came to know about the law of attraction. So, what it actually is the ability to attract into our lives whatever we're focusing on. So, if you are focusing on, I'm going to get this virus, I'm going to get sick, or just any like negative emotion or thought, the theory is that eventually, if you keep having those thoughts, more bad will come into your life. So that like negativity is almost like you become this magnet for it. Um, and I feel like I've felt this in my own life multiple times where I just couldn't get out of my head. I was in deep depression, gloom and doom all the time. And so everything just kept going wrong. And I just didn't understand why. And I was just like, why does this keep happening to me? Why are all these bad things, losing a job or losing a friend, getting in a car accident? It just kept happening. And that kind of fed into my anger and my frustration and my negative thoughts because I'd be like, well, it just keeps going. Like one more thing, so like kind of having that mentality, brings more negative into your life. So that's kind of what the law of attraction is about. The opposite is the same. So if you are hell bent on staying positive, on if a negative thought comes into your head, you let it pass and try and switch it to something positive by kind of staying in that gratitude state. Um, then more positive things will start to kind of come towards you, more positive things and people, more, more money sometimes, as long as you're, in that mindset of, yes, this is a hard situation right now, but I'm doing good. Everyone's healthy. I'm happy, healthy, even if at the moment you don't feel it. Your brain doesn't know much different. So getting you to realize that, like even the way that your body functions deals with your thoughts and your emotions. Obviously, when you're in stressful situations, your emotions get into this swing of, fight or flight. So you're constantly like your heart's racing, and then you start to really feel worn down because your body is thinking you're going to die and they need to do all of what they're supposed to do, like having all these things firing and dealing with everything to save you from whatever you think is happening to you. So just realizing that you are not helping by thinking, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing that could possibly happen to me. So again, easier said than done. But so like all thoughts eventually turn into things in your life. So if you constantly are thinking about something or have that goal, let's go the positive route. If you have a goal in life that you want to switch your job up and you are constantly thinking about, I'm going to get that goal. I'm in that goal right now. I'm in that my dream job. This is how I envision it. This is what I'm going to be paid. This is what I'm going to be doing every day. Here are my coworkers, and just literally living in that dream that you want, then slowly you're going to go towards it, and everything that needs to happen to get you there will start shifting. So just realizing that you have that kind of power over your own emotions and your own thoughts is actually kind of awesome. Because I feel a lot of times I feel like I'm just stuck where I am and I feel this way and that's just kind of how it is. But really, it's you have more control than you let yourself believe most of the time. Sorry, my tea is getting a little cold, so I gotta get some more. Anyone else drinking any tea? Anything that you're grateful for? Please make a little response. I want to see what you're saying and what you're thinking. So, in order to kind of get your mind into that law of attraction mode, positive affirmations are really easy to start with. So, it may feel silly to begin with, but if you constantly say, I am happy and healthy, I am happy and healthy, and then slowly you start to feel better, your body is less tense, you are bringing into your life that positive health as you're constantly like emitting it. So I like to think of it as just visualizing my aura, so like my energy field, pushing out positive stuff, and that it always is just constantly going somewhere until it hits that positive that I need in my life, and it kind of starts to magnetize it towards me. If it's negative, same thing. It'll like find that negative thing that I don't want in my life, but I'm constantly thinking about. It'll slowly bring it back to me, like the feeling of karma. Like, oh, karma is going to happen to that person because they're a crab, or they're horrible, horrible to that lady. So comeuppance. So, hi, Kate. Um, so just always thinking of, we've already seen it in our lives that this actually legitimately happens. We just have to believe that we can control some of what happens to us just by the way that we react to things and how we tell our brain to react, which in turn changes how our body reacts, which in turn changes how our energy is transmitted. I definitely feel like when somebody is super like charged and they walk into a room, you can feel it. It's palpable. Like either they're angry, it's emitting crazy energy of like, oh, that person, you stay away from them with no sort of communication, no language, no nothing. You know that, oh, I need to steer clear of them. Or vice versa, if somebody comes in with, that high energy that all of us are trying to get and maintain, a lot of people that want that gravitate towards those people. So you just realize, hi, Martel. What are you thankful for? What are you drinking? Um, you realize that we feel these vibrations, this energy field from each other more than we realize. It's more a subconscious feeling. A lot of times you can feel before you talk to somebody what they're going to say, how they're feeling, what their emotional charge is, just by kind of being quiet and paying attention. You don't even have to be very advanced in reading people, but it's literally sometimes when you have a really high emotion, it just exudes off of you. So your brain will send what you put out to the rest of your body. Dab, dab. Just to be alive and jade bloom peppermint herbal tea. Ooh, jade blooms. That sounds good. Um, so your brain will send what you put out to the rest of your body. So again, like your cells will shift because you're feeling a certain emotion or a thought goes through your head, and it's insane how you can change at a cellular a cellular level just from how you're feeling and reacting to something. Um, so again, I say this a lot to myself, is that your brain doesn't know the difference between a lie and the truth. So that's why those positive affirmations work, because your brain is just like, oh, she says she's happy and healthy. I guess I can chill out and not, uh-oh, and not go crazy and think, uh-oh, we need to go fight or flight and save her, kind of thing. And then eventually, faking it to make it, you feel better and you feel more at peace and more leveled out. I always kind of think too that, love, that vibration of love, of how you're emitting love or kindness, is so much more powerful than fear and hate. Because fear and hate, it can't be held for too long. Otherwise, you feel drained. You feel like if when you feel angry at somebody, it just takes so much out of you. When you feel like negative aggression, it's just you feel like you've been. Hit by a truck, you know? But if you kind of hold that love, just keep thinking, okay, loving kindness, even if I'm not feeling it for that person, it starts to make you feel better, and it can sustain you longer in a positive mindset. I recently watched Monsters Inc. again, with Deb, and it floored me that it's like, oh my gosh, it's kind of like the things that I've been thinking about, where at the beginning of the movie, whole point is to scare little kids so that they can get their fear energy out of screams. So they're like taking all these screams by scaring them. But then at the end, they realize that laughter and positive energy is 10 times more powerful, so they have even bigger things to fill up, so it's so true though. And I love that. Yeah, it's a rock. I love that thought of like, okay, well, we can't stay in fear for long, but like that energy of love will constantly sustain us and hold us, and if all of us are trying harder to stay in that positive mindset, then everybody's going to be better, because once you come across that crabby person, it kind of sometimes gets you out of your positive mood. If your partner is stressed out and angry, I automatically switch to, oh no. um, and vice versa. If I'm in a bad mood, it just grows to everyone that I deal with. So thinking about that, like, you can be that positive change just by the way you interact with other people, and the positive vibrations that you're subconsciously putting out there change how people react to you, unknowing to them most of the time. Now, I wanted to kind of end with a silent meditation so that you can sit and try and think of your own positive affirmations. So when you're sitting, I want you, again, not to necessarily stop those thoughts that come in your head, but kind of analyze them now. And if they're negative, feel them, yes, but automatically try and switch them to a positive of what you don't. So don't like hold on to what you don't want. Don't say, "Oh, I'm so glad I'm not sick." Say, "I'm so grateful that I'm healthy." So like the negatives you want to stay, even no, not. You just want to kind of say, "This is what's happening." Even if you feel like crappy today or you're worried that you're sick. If you keep saying those positive affirmations, you'll boost your energy to bring in more positive to you. So we're going to start. So if you want to sit up straight, find somewhere comfortable to sit. I'm going to take one more sip of tea. You can close your eyes. Take a couple deep breaths. Feel your lungs fill up with air. Exhale all the negative, all the bad, all the fear out. And I want you to, again, whenever there's an emotion that comes or a thought, I want you to sit with it. And if there's any negative connotation to it, change the narrative. Change your emotions.
Rico! Rico! Rico!
Don't mind the little voice in the background. Live in the positivity. In your mind's eye, envision your aura. It's warm around you. It's your life force. Put into the universe only what you wish, not what you don't. Love is always stronger than fear. Living in love is our natural state. Fear is temporary. Next few moments, I want you to take a deep inhale, an exhale, and a sigh. Inhale, exhale. Let go of the negative. Inhale love. Exhale fear. Last inhale. Exhale. Right, you can open your eyes and smile. Even if you don't feel like smiling, just smile. It'll make you feel better. Just remember, always, always just put out that positive vibration. And more will happen for you. My daughter's trying to put on pants for herself. So I'll stop this now because this might get loud. Thank you so much for being with me. Have a good day, a good weekend. Namaste.